Hello, you poor unfortunate souls, and welcome to this double review for Helluva Boss Season 2, Episode 10 and 11. Last time, when I wanted to do the review of GHOSTF, I unfortunately contracted an incurable illness. This illness that is definitely not laziness. So I've decided to wait for Mastermind to release and make the two reviews in one video. Say I'm smart. Say I'm smart. Anyway, here's how it's gonna play out. I will first talk about GHOSTF and then we'll go over Mastermind. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also very important, comment your thoughts. And now let's just get into it.
Now you know where babies come from.
This episode starts with Blitzø mourning the loss of his non-existent relationship with Stolas. So much so that he is almost going bankrupt, so to help him, Millie gets him to work. And while Millie is trying to find their murder culprit, Blitzø is trying to get laid with a ghost. They fight, Blitzø is having a wild panic attack, Millie sees him and goes to comfort him. They make up and realize that the culprit was a demon with the wildest powers I've seen in Helluva Boss. They beat him, Blitzø and Millie have a heartfelt conversation, and the episode stops here. That episode was fine. Like, the animation was really cool and I liked the song personally. Now for the rest, I'm gonna cut this review by parts. You can go to the one you want down here or just listen to the whole thing, and let's just get into it.
Thank you, Daddy.
I'm gonna go over this part right here so we can be done with it. There were some parts that I thought was boring. I'm sorry, but the fight with the grandpa and this whole chase scene felt so eerie. I was asking myself what I was watching. It was so different from the rest of the episode, I thought I was gonna have a stroke. I liked the song though. That's it. Honestly, they would have cut down some of the episode, I wouldn't have mind at all. Like, if I rewatched the episode, I would just skip that part. You see what I mean?
Why are you running?
Alright. Let's really begin this time. In this episode, it's been a month since Apology Tour, and Blitzø is having the roughest breakup I've seen in a while. Because of what happened, he's believed that he fucks everything up, and that every relationship he has is doomed to ruin the other person because of him just keeps getting stronger. So much so that he spends money like crazy, even money from their company, which is really fucked up on Blitzø's part. If something doesn't change, they're literally going bankrupt, which is why Millie is trying to help him so badly, but even with all of her patience, she eventually snaps, and I'll be honest here, her snapping is totally justified. She literally says he hasn't paid her in a month. This is such a shitty thing to do. And it's not like she was doing it the day after. She was putting up with his bullshit for a month. Like, I get her speech to Blitzø in this scene, but I'm still mad Blitzø didn't apologize. I get the message, but God, a little consideration for Millie, please. Anyway, at one point in the episode, the infestor demon, Rolando, is giving Blitzø some sort of hallucination, which leads him to a full-on panic attack. And I'll just say, the animation for this hallucination was so good. I really like how this Millie moved right here, like she's breaking her bones every time she's trying to do the most simple movement. And the shot of Blitzø's mother burning with her eye popping out and her skull being more and more visible, it was so nightmarecore, I just loved it. Anyway, his panic attack is getting worse by the time Millie arrives. He's claiming that he makes everyone's lives worse, that he should be alone essentially, until Millie make him reminiscing the first time they met, and her joining the company. She basically tells him that his beliefs are false and that he actually made her life better than ever, which was so cute actually. And it's definitely not just Millie. If it wasn't for Blitzø, Moxie may not have been able to escape the clutch of his own family, and I don't even want to know what would have happened to Luna if he never adopted her. He didn't realize, but he actually saved some people. And this is where his redemption really starts. Yes, he fucked things up, but he's trying to do better, and he actually did. Even if some of his suffering was kind of annoying, I'm sorry, but I get the trauma. He still hasn't apologized to Millie. I'm still pissed about this. And at the end, Blitzø is telling Millie that he'll stop being a freak between her and her husband, proving that he really did change. And I appreciate this actually.
I've never had a real friend that I didn't want to fuck.
Oh yeah, because this
I really want you, sir. Me too. Let's three-way.
is definitely not you.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
Let's be real here, in all of the episodes we got, this one might be the closest thing from a Millie episode, and I just loved it. Other than the fact that she has the patience of a literal sloth, when Blitzø was down, she became the glue that held this crumbling company together, and her dialogue with Luna here, asking for her help, was so sweet. I really like their relationship. And like I said before, her snapping at Blitzø in the middle was totally justified. Then we have their conversation during Blitz's breakdown, and this is where it gets interesting. Millie, before meeting Blitzø, Blitz was an assassin already, working for scraps basically. She always believed that her worth was based on her bringing as an imp from Wrath, and that she was destined to stay like this until she met Blitz. He was the one who offered her this opportunity to get out of her situation and climb higher than what she thought was just a brick ceiling. And while Blitz did fuck things up, he did help Millie and the others, and in the end she realizes how much Blitz's breakup affected him and how he's changed, maybe for the better. Anyway, so we finally got to see the change Blitz needed, and I already can't wait to see it in the next episode. Oh wait, it's already out? Alright, after an episode where Blitz suffered, what should we do now? Make Blitz suffer! So the episode starts with Blitz about to hire free labor, only to be interrupted by Hell's authorities. There's cops in Hell? Anyway, he and the gang are put on trial in front of the Sins because of Andrealphus, who accused Blitz of stealing the grimoire and taking advantages of Stolas. After some back and forth, Blitz is about to play French Revolution, only for Stolas to save his ass and blame himself instead. And he also professed his love in song on live TV for everyone to see. Yeah, I forgot about that. He is then stripped out of his powers and status for the next 100 years, leaving Octavia alone with her mother and uncle. Stolas goes to live with Blitz and the episode stops there. I'll be honest, I really like that episode. Minus a few things. You'll see. Like before, I'm gonna cut this review by parts. You can skip to the one you want down there if you want, and I'll be going now. Okay, this topic might be one of my tiny problems with this episode, so let's start small. Elsa is speaking with Stella until at one point she drops the fact that Stolas has been lending his book to Blitz. And he didn't know? It's been more than a year in their world. Not only that, but they weren't sneaky at all. But okay, let's say he didn't know. What the fuck was that plan about? So if I understand correctly, his plan was to accuse Blitz so that Stolas can intervene when he sees him on TV, hoping that his intervention would lead to his downfall so he can take his place. Okay, bucko, how are you so sure that Stolas would be watching TV at this exact moment? What if he was watching another channel? What if he was outside? How could you predict something like that? Wouldn't it have been better and way easier to just straight up accuse Stolas of lending his grimoire illegally? I mean, except maybe for Vassago, B and Ozzy, nobody would be defending him. I mean, it's also an approximate plan, but it would have been less random than this. Or maybe I'm being dumb, but I don't know. You all tell me what you think about it. Also, his comments on how gorgeous his sister was weird as fuck. No, cause why do you insist on this? One thing that we finally get to see in this trial are all of the sins. -1. Not gonna lie, interesting that Lucifer really doesn't involve himself with anything. And we get to see Ozzy and B again. Mammon, on the other hand, is more interesting in raising Leviathan up. Speaking of Leviathan, a lot of people said that her design felt underwhelming, and honestly, I kind of agree. I'm not saying it's bad, but when you compare to the other sins, she kind of feels like a background character. Now, Belphegor, though, not gonna lie, I'm identifying way too much with this cute lamp. Even when something big happens, she immediately goes back to sleep. That's my spirit animal right here. But at least she decided to show up, unlike some. And finally, we got Satan, who seems to be like a leader of some sort. He plays the judge, and it looks like he is the one in charge after Lucifer. But one thing that got mine and everyone else's attention was this. Everyone thought he was ruling hell before Lucifer, but Vivzi confirmed that it was in fact lying, and that he does that often. And I assume he's doing this to make himself look more legitimate. Now, does that mean he also resents Lucifer? That I'm not sure. He definitely takes advantages of the fact that he never shows up, and even in Has Been Hotel, it felt like Lucifer only focused on sinners. He didn't care much, but at least more than Hellborn affairs, which leaves Satan to do anything he wants. Although, I get that he can lie and all since Lucifer isn't there, but this kangaroo court was broadcasted live in all of the 7 rings. Does Lucifer never watch TV? Or maybe he just doesn't care, but what about Charlie? Pretty sure she would intervene if she saw that kind of injustice, wouldn't she? Meh, honestly, I still really like to see all of the sins together, even if it wasn't much. I would have liked to see the sins talking more in court, because while B and Ozzy were giving their opinions, the others just didn't talk at all. That's a bit disappointing. I hope we'll have episodes focused on them. Another thing that keeps bugging me is this.
I suppose I created him kind to be obedient.
Was that another lie, or is it true that he created imp-kind? And if that's the case, what about other species? Were they made by the other sins? I'm genuinely curious. Also, the fact that B, the literal sin of gluttony, looks traumatized by Mammon's food inhaling right here is just so funny to me.
Ridiculous! Utterly ridiculous!
Guys, when I first saw Vassago on the trailers, I thought I would like him. I was wrong. I love him. I'm sorry, but I had to make a section for him, no matter how small it'll be, because I love this freaking parrot. No, really, his constant Spanish mixed with his enthusiasm about music got me on my knees.
Yes! Yes! Cántalo, baby!
Oh my god, I love him. He better have an episode to himself in the future. A movie even, or else. I really wonder what kind of relationship he has with Stolas, because this whole trial, he was just defending him and literally acting like a fanboy. So this could be interesting. Also loved how the fandom was theorizing about how he would be Stolas' next boyfriend, or if he was with Andrealphus instead, only for him to be neither of those. Why did we have to take the Delulu part, guys? What was that for? But I have to agree with Twitter on this. Him and Andrealphus kind of act like bitter exes. Something big happened between them and I feel like everyone knows about it except us, the viewers.
Says, ooh, nice Porsche. Gotcha, bitch.
Okay, this might actually be the true turning point for Stolitz. Let me explain. When Blitz is about to get executed, Stolas arrives and almost sacrifices himself for him. But thanks to his status, he only gets stripped away of his powers and status for the next 100 years, leaving him with nothing. And let's be real, this might be the best thing that happened for Stolas and Blitz's relationship. Let me explain. Over the course of the show, there was always a power balance in their dynamic. Because I'm sorry to tell you, but no matter how every one of you fanfic, AO3 Wattpad author / reader / fantasy dreaming folk might think, there was a power dynamic at play. Yes, Stolas tried to treat Blitz as his equal, but it never changed this power dynamic, and even if he tried proving the contrary, even he was aware of it, which is also the reason why the episode Full Moon happened like this. Think about it, in the first season, even if Blitz didn't mind, he had to keep seeing Stolas, his business depended on it. So having Stolas stripped of his status and power actually puts him on equal ground with Blitz, which is what the fandom has been waiting for, let's be real. I'm really excited to see how their dynamics gonna play out in the future and I already can't wait. And now for the cringy song. No, cause again, cute love confession and all, may I remind you they did that on live TV and everyone saw it. And when I mean everyone, it's everyone. Bro, I would have begged for my execution at this point. I'm not ever coming back to the world if I was Stolas. What do you mean, soliloquy? Oh. Oh. What? I didn't say anything. I'm not dumb. I knew about it. Fuck. Okay, but let's be honest, I was still cringing at this. Maybe it's just me because I'm the kind of person to ship harder than anyone else, and when something romantic happens, I am the kind to cringe harder than anyone else. It could be my favorite ship, I would have been waiting for this moment my whole life, but I would still cringe, so I don't know. Another thing that we need to talk about though is Stolas' choice. I don't care what anyone says, he chose Blitz over his daughter. Yes, you heard me right. And before you all jump on me in the comments, let me explain. Of course, I'm not saying he doesn't love his daughter. In a matter of fact, if Blitz and Octavia were in the life or death situation and Stolas could save only one of them, he would choose Via, 100% no questions asked. But right now, let's review what just happened. Stolas went to save Blitz and blame himself for all of the crimes presented, portraying himself as this malicious mastermind. And for that, he was prepared to take Blitz's sentence. He was prepared to die for Blitz. Yes, he was spared, but at this moment, he genuinely thought it was his last moment. He was literally about to leave her daughter alone. I don't care what anybody says, he didn't think about his daughter at this moment, and I'm pretty curious of how they're gonna address it in the future because yes, from the trailer, we know it's gonna be addressed.
You never loved Mama, and you don't love me, you love him!
Ooh, the almighty bomb.
I would rather be dead. I can't live life without you by my side.
Okay, so both of you forgot about your daughters. I'll take notes. Also, okay, I am a little scared to bring this out. Let me know what you think about it, but am I the only one that feels like the storyline went too fast? Like in Apology Tour, they were officially done with each other, then we got Ghostfuckers, in which Stolas didn't even appear, and now we have Mastermind, and they're finally a thing? I feel like we could have gotten a little bit more time before all of this. Like, for example, I would have preferred to have Fitzer roll his arc after Apology Tour, and then we can have Ghostfuckers and the Stolitz confession in Mastermind. It would have been better in my opinion, because it felt kind of rushed, I'll be honest. I mean, I still remember people on Twitter crying after Apology Tour because Stolitz was over, and then 2 episodes later, bada bim bam boom, it's official. And like, it might not feel like it for those who had to wait for the episodes months after months, but for those who will watch them back to back, they won't have time to mourn. But like I said, let me know what you think. Oh, and look, this scene right here might actually be the first ever interaction we've seen of Octavia and her mother after what? 19 episodes? Took you long enough. And while Stella is pretty much evil for this, I'll be honest, Stolas did this to himself. No, cause like, I get his sacrifice for the one he loves, but he was prepared to die for him leaving his daughter behind, and only realized his move once the trial was over. Not only that, but all of this was broadcasted for all of hell to see.
Are you gonna run off with him? And leave me behind?
What? No! No, never.
Well, that was a fucking lie. Okay, but even after all of that, I'll admit that their last scene together was very adorable. I really can't wait to see how it's gonna play out in the future. Not only that, but we'll finally get to see Elsa fighting. Let's go! And that is the end of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also comment your thoughts, and I'll see you around.